No one can believe it. Once again, BTS's Jungkook has become the centerpiece of a global stage. This time, it's not a concert arena or a music award ceremony, but one of the world's largest and most prestigious trade events, the China International Import Expo, also known as CIIE. On November 8, 2025, Calvin Klein made its long-awaited debut at the event, and to the delight of millions, the face representing the brand's first-ever showcase was none other than Jungkook himself. The CIIE, held annually at the National Exhibition and Convention Center in Shanghai, is one of China's most significant global platforms. Organized by the Ministry of Commerce and the Shanghai municipal government, it brings together world-class companies, industry leaders, and international icons under one roof. But this year, despite the presence of luxury labels, cutting-edge technology, and dazzling innovations, all eyes turned to one thing: the enormous digital screen at Calvin Klein's exhibition booth featuring Jungkook's new 2025 holiday campaign. It was an image impossible to ignore. Towering high above the crowd, Jungkook's gaze met visitors as they entered the Calvin Klein space. Sharp, magnetic, and unmistakably confident. Dressed in black denim, his posture exuded power and poise. The video that followed showed him moving through a neon-lit cityscape, the sound design echoing the rhythm of his steps. It wasn't just an advertisement, it was a statement. Jungkook isn't just the face of Calvin Klein. He is Calvin Klein's global identity reborn for a new generation. Fans who attended the event reported that the crowd surrounding the Calvin Klein display was unlike anything else at the expo. People stopped mid-walk, pulling out their phones to film the visuals, while the brand's representatives smiled at the overwhelming attention. One attendee described the scene perfectly. Everywhere you looked, there were people recording Jungkook's video. Even visitors who didn't know who he was stopped to ask about him. It felt like his presence took over the entire hall. On social media, armies quickly turned the news into a global trend. Within hours, hashtags like #JungkookCalvinKlein, #JungkookCIIE 2025, and #AlwaysTheMainAttraction began trending on X, formerly Twitter. Fans celebrated not only the visuals, but also the symbolism behind it. The fact that Jungkook, a South Korean artist, had become the main promotional figure at one of China's most significant international exhibitions. To many, it was another testament to his unparalleled global reach, transcending language, borders, and even industries. What makes this even more remarkable is Calvin Klein's own history. The brand has long been associated with cultural icons who defined eras, from Kate Moss in the 90s to Justin Bieber in the 2010s. Now, Jungkook is doing the same for the 2020s, but with an edge entirely his own. He brings not only youth and beauty, but also authenticity, a rawness that blends seamlessly with Calvin Klein's minimalist identity. His campaigns are never just about fashion. They're about emotion, freedom, and individuality. This isn't the first time Jungkook's face has captivated massive audiences through Calvin Klein. Earlier this year, his global campaign lit up billboards in New York, London, Tokyo, and Seoul, turning city streets into art galleries of his presence. Now, with his images dominating the CIIE in Shanghai, it feels like his influence has expanded to an entirely new level, from fashion capitals to international trade platforms. Calvin Klein's decision to feature Jungkook as their leading image at the expo wasn't just marketing. It was a recognition of his power to connect cultures, to embody modern coolness while remaining authentically himself. The reactions online were immediate and emotional. Fans wrote messages filled with pride, calling him the main event wherever he goes. One post that went viral read, "Calvin Klein's debut in China was huge, but Jungkook made it unforgettable." Another user wrote, "Even among hundreds of global brands, he shines the brightest. That's the Jungkook effect." Some fans even shared that Calvin Klein representatives at the expo mentioned how the response to Jungkook's visuals was far greater than anticipated. The booth saw record foot traffic, with visitors eager to take photos beside his images and explore the new collection he represented. It wasn't just a product launch, it had turned into a pop culture moment. But perhaps the most striking part of this story is how naturally Jungkook continues to embody this global dominance without losing his grounded charm. In every campaign, he doesn't act, he is. Whether he's dressed in leather, denim, or casual sportswear, Jungkook's appeal lies in his ability to make simplicity magnetic. Fans often say that he doesn't need to try to be cool. He just exists, and the world adjusts around his energy. Industry insiders who attended the CIIE echoed the same sentiment. A senior marketing analyst from Shanghai remarked, "It's rare for a celebrity campaign to stand out in such a business-oriented event, but Jungkook's face, his movement, the overall cinematic tone, it transcended commercial boundaries. It didn't feel like advertising, it felt like a cultural statement." Calvin Klein executives have also been vocal about how Jungkook's partnership has transformed the brand's global engagement. His previous campaigns drove record-breaking digital interaction, with product lines selling out within hours of release. This continued momentum demonstrates something larger: Jungkook's role as a bridge between fashion and fandom, between Western luxury and Asian influence. The impact of his appearance at the CIIE goes beyond just visuals. It's also symbolic of the new global fashion landscape, one where artists from different parts of the world redefine what it means to be an icon. Jungkook stands at that intersection, effortlessly blending artistry and commerce, fame and humility, global reach and intimate connection. His presence alone turns any platform, be it a music stage or a corporate expo, into something that feels alive, emotional, and unforgettable. In the days following the event, fans online began to reflect on how far Jungkook has come. From his debut as BTS's youngest member in 2013 to standing today as the global face of one of fashion's most iconic brands, his journey has been nothing short of extraordinary. What began as a teenage dream has evolved into a cultural phenomenon, one built not on luck, but on dedication, authenticity, and relentless artistry. Even those outside the BTS fandom acknowledged the brilliance of the campaign. Fashion journalists from China, South Korea, and Europe highlighted Jungkook's performance in Calvin Klein's new visuals as cinematic, striking, and redefining the modern male icon. It's rare for a celebrity campaign to draw such universal praise, but Jungkook's does, because it doesn't just sell clothes. It tells a story about evolution, individuality, and the courage to be unapologetically yourself. As the CIIE continues through the week, Calvin Klein's booth remains one of the most photographed spaces at the venue. People from all over the world are still stopping by, some for fashion, some out of curiosity, but most because they simply can't look away from the man on the screen. Jungkook's image, frozen in perfect confidence, represents not just a campaign, but a symbol of how one artist's authenticity can captivate the entire world. In the end, one thing is clear. No matter where he goes, Jungkook is always the main attraction. His influence isn't confined to stages or music videos, it's everywhere, quietly redefining what it means to be a global star in the modern age.